Hello everybody. I have some HTP Wicks today that I'm going to use in the IGI 6046 wax. I heard some really good things about these wicks in this wax, so I decided to do a video of me doing my process of making my test candles, as well as at the end of the video I show me doing a re-wicking of some jars that I previously had some CD wicks in that I wanted to try with these HTP wicks. So I get to show y'all how I preserve my wax until I get ready to redo jars to try new wicks. So let's get into this wax. I find that I really love using this wax. I have been using this wax throughout my whole testing process, and I find I really love using it. The only thing about this wax is I find that it's a bit on the difficult side to wick because there's little to no information out there on this wax. So you really have to go through a few different wicks to find the perfect wick for you. I am in a few Facebook groups that is particularly for this wax, and I have seen that some people say they cannot get a hot throw out of this wax. And I used to feel that same way off of a few of the scents that I have. I could not get a hot throw out of them for nothing. My advice for those people would be to probably change your wick series, because once I changed my wick series, I found that I got a hot throw out of all of my candles, whether it was a light scent or a heavier scent. I got a hot throw out of all of them. I also feel that in some situations you might need two series of wicks, because in my particular situation I find that for majority of my candles the HPSP wicks work perfectly, and in my heavy oils I find if it's a base of amber, musk, or vanilla, I can use my HTP wicks in those oils and it gives a great hot throw. So I'm about to get ready to measure out my wax. I set my scale to grams because to me it's easier to measure out and it's more accurate. So I add 180 grams of wax plus a little extra to my pot because I want to sell 7-ounce candles, and I want to be able to make sure that it's exactly 7 ounces, if not a little bit more than 7 ounces. I just use a cake scraper that I had lying around the house from when I attempted to make my son's birthday cake last year, and it works really good with just cutting through the wax. Pretty much anything could cut through this wax because the wax is really soft. Usually when I melt my wax, I get my oil ready to be measured out. But with these little plastic cups, they only hold the oil for so long, depending on the type of oil, before it starts to eat through the cup. So now I just wait until I'm actually ready to pour in, which is after I remove my wax from the stove. It cools down some to about 185 degrees. By that time, I add the oil. I use 9% of fragrance oil in most of my candles, except for like the lighter oils. I go up to about 10%. Now, I can't really say how long I mix my wax and my oil together because I just mix until I feel I mixed it enough and it's combined. But I will say that it is recommended that you stir for about 2 minutes. After that, I go ahead and pour into my jars. I don't wait for a perfect pour temperature. I just go ahead and pour. And I don't get much wet spots in my jars. But honestly, I don't really care too much about them as long as it's not too bad, because they are hard to avoid. I have read on them before starting the whole testing process and heard of all the different ways to not get them, and in the end I still hear people say that they get them anyway. It's just something that candle makers pay attention to. I really believe it, because customers, I don't think, really care about wet spots. Only thing that they care about is how the candle smells, and as long as the candle is bomb, I'm pretty sure they don't care about wet spots. This is me re-wicking a few of my jars. I'm not trying to waste any wax or any fragrance oil. So what I do is when a wick don't work, I just scoop out the wax from the jar and place it inside these Ziploc bags. Put the name and percentage oil on the bag and clean up my jars really good. So when I get ready to try a new wick, I just wick the jar and take out the wax, melt it down, cure it, and it works good for me. I know some people pull out the wick and just place another one in, but I don't like doing it that way. I just don't feel like it's as accurate as just melting it down, putting a new wick in, and starting over. Well, that's all for today's video. Leave a comment, let me know what you think of my process, and let me know your process. Until next time, bye!